welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, and shit, I skipped the dialogue again. Where we last left off, we were talking to these once cute girls, but now girls which I might have just given up on inside of me. Like, my heart is telling me just unknown whether to pursue them or not. Anyways, yeah, where we last left off, we were playing a game of Risk against Shizune, this cute blue-haired girl here. She attempted to force us into playing aggressively in the game of Risk. I chose to play defensively, and she dislikes me because I'm not ambitious. So, and also she sputtered some quite heartbreaking things at me. So, if anything, I think we have lost Shizune. But anyways, let us continue. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me, unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Yeah, for the past couple of episodes, these two girls have been persuading us to join the student council. Seriously, you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game, then to give you a handicap. I might have said that. I might have said that just to make you feel better. After all, well, that's cold, He-chan. Girls, you lost me last episode. I am gonna say cold things to you. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I had expected. Yeah, games of Risk can take pretty damn long. I'm sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. That doesn't help. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library's open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? Ah, thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Or never. Bye! One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor. Weird, of course. Plain, like only hallways can be. Well, the problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them? Or is it just somewhere down the hallway? Bet on the latter, and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention, because it's not closed. It's not open either, just barely ajar, so I can see it's open, but nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open. Well, this one is not quite that. It's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing it is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind. So much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it was much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over, I'm poking my head in ever further inside, to gain sight of the room as fast as possible. A meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh my word. Hello? This is not as I was expecting. Neither, my good man, neither was I. Damn. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of a solitary figure, taking center stage, the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me alone, standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. You said that right, my man. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup, opens her eyes, doesn't look at me. Hello? May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break the silence, rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she like the tallest girl I've ever laid my eyes on. Please, Hisao, don't do this to me. Don't remind me. Ponytail, blonde hair, tall girl. But even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movement with her head is telling that... and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means that she must be at least partially blind. Like Kenji. If she were partially blind, she would most likely be wearing glasses or contacts. Either she's wearing contacts or she is completely blind. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have a detectable accent either. Guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. Too right, bro! There was no calming atmosphere in the student council office. Only depression. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yes, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distant feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers. Nor can I speak coherently like her. Accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match, before realizing the futility of the action. I am Lilly Satou. Pleased to meet you. This is definitely a change of tone from the previous episode, my good friends. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Honestly, you gotta go for a cup of coffee. I mean, not coffee. Not a coffee. A cup of tea, dear. As much as it pains me, I can't step with the formality in the proceedings. She takes a kind nod. She gives a kind nod. She takes a kind nod, taking the request in her stride. Without another word, she steps off her chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there. Her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. So I lean slightly to see around her back. She seems to be using her long, dainty finger as a measure for the right amount of water in the cup. Yeah, I can imagine that is a very effective way to do that. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have. It's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Yeah. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me. Lilly herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems to be pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, a soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is used for anything after school. The school library. Shizune and me. I mean, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. There's slight metallic tapping coming from the teacup, indicating it being stirred. I am aware of Miss Hakanishi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class free, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a slight giggle before setting down the spoon and slowly walking towards the teacup. Teacup, saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him like most do. What was that trying to imply? As she sets down the tea, I gently take it, having a sip. I'm rather more of a coffee person. Wow. To be honest, I like tea more than coffee. I don't like tea. I don't like the drink. I like coffee-flavored things, I just don't like the tea. I mean, what am I saying? I don't like the drink. My words are really bad today! And it's not even a really crazy day. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it, having a sip. I already said that, derp. This seems like a rather bad moment to bring up that I'm not a tea person. Nonetheless, it smells quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satou. It really tastes nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really doesn't seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? Imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Wait, what? I mean, sorry. I feel like slapping myself at the faux pas. I feel like slapping you! Okay, that wasn't the best slap I've ever done. One of the best faux slaps. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem a little bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Wow, she is quite the lady. I definitely sense that she's a love interest, but I don't think that we'll be going after her. There's definitely going to be more to her than meets the eye, right? I don't mean, like, her personality-wise, I mean, in terms of the story. Sure. Sorry, I guess. I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their condition. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking of it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. This definitely seems like a nice place. If I were ever to go to Yakumo Academy, I would definitely be here. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. A friend? Another love interest? That's interesting. She's also a class rep just like Shizune. Another interesting pointer. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem completely opposite. Yeah! But are opposites always the best? I mean, I've completely lost Shizune. Like, I have no interest in her at this point. But at the same time, I've only just met this Lilly, so... But at the same time, her formality and her mannerisms... Don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against it. Like, of course I'm British and whatnot, so people expect me to be so formal and uptight. But at the same time, like, I'm not into that kind of thing. Like, if I were born to a rich family, maybe. But I'm just born to a common working class family. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, too right. Lily seems calm, relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, it would be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times. There's the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. Yeah, Shizune mentioned that the book club is extremely popular. I don't think we want to consider baseball or track and field. There are many numerous small ones. Games club, games club, games club, games club! Such as the arts and music club. At a time when I'm... Oh, sorry, that's not Lily's voice. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. Yeah. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Good. That's a relief. I've never really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. That seems slightly amusing. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it, as Lily does the same. And it's become evening! A very romantic evening, wouldn't you say? As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I'm losing my capabilities of speaking! I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she wouldn't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come up as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hisao, I didn't mean to keep you from the library so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I think I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. She smiles, gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. It most definitely was. Come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help, but I should be able to find it alright. Unless my navigational skills fail me. They already have Hisao. Which they seem to be having a habit of doing. Yeah. It's alright. I was going to talk to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny our offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped into the handle of the bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Yeah, I could easily make that conclusion. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace quickly slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door, the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor, rather than the entire wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old-world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says to thin air, since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, but by a quiet wail. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained and failing attempts to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hurt my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and I was looking for both of them when you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She is quick to reverse Lily's apologies, as almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression when shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, with replete glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library perfectly. Wow! Again with the stereotypes! Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books have arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but... Amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye. Freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Do you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao. Apologies. A new student, Hisao. This is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao. Right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name in her mind. Lord! So she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror! Lily, I can't. I don't know what you could be interested in. There's too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. Oh my god. But... so there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look less tense. Well, I've been thinking about a third of or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Audiobooks? Courtesy of TRXD. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly. Because the library is adequately endowed, that's probably why. They spend more new books than on my salary. Then I have to organize and shelve them all. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could just quit this job. Wow, you just openly admitted that. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of TMI. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably for the best for all of us, if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling to the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large prints and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had with tea snuck with us in here. Unless it was here to begin with. Who knows? Who knows? Something about that puts me at ease. Just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the end at the back. While the rest of the library has an odd student sitting at a desk or either reading or stealthily sleeping. Yeah, libraries. Only good for reading or napping. The back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting in one of those several beanbags. Oh my goodness, oh my word. I'm kind of speechless right now. The kawaii meter is back! It's the dark-haired girl from my class. The one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. Close up, she looks so cute. Oh my word. I don't want to say anymore, I just want to look at this image. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. The way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, the mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface. I just want to stop right now. There is a theme of glory playing in the background. Do you hear it? This is the theme of me speaking to the girl I'd been so curious about all this time. But we're gonna have to save that for another time. Oh my god, TRXD! Why? Why the cliffhangers? I know, why the cliffhangers me? Why the cliffhangers? Next time on Katawa Shoujo, we talk to the cutest girl we talk to one of the cutest girls that we've encountered so far, and hopefully the kawaii meter will just explode. But anyways, with this theme of triumph, this very theme of triumph, thanks for watching. If you like this episode more than you did the previous one, like and favorite this video, and of course subscribe to me if you want any more. But aside from that, well, thanks for watching. Really, I have been TRXD, and well, bye.